There we go. We are live. Hi, girls. So exciting. I'm sure everybody can hear the garbage truck in the background. But to those of you watching the video, once we share it with you, welcome to our Tuesday night meeting guest speaker edition. Yay, yeah. So this week's guest speakers are us, some of your leaders that were available last minute. I'm totally bouncing my camera. Sorry. Because things are hectic. It's end of school and all that fun stuff, and there was a trip, like plenty of people just got back from the trip, so I decided that this would be fun for us to just talk a little bit about our experiences with Scentsy Family Reunion and some of the exciting things coming up for this year's reunion, which is great. So I'm going to start and tell my story about my first experience with Scentsy Convention, it was called at the time. And then my first time actually going in person. And then Rachel and Sarah are going to do the same thing.
Yes.
So, yeah. My first year was the Fort Worth, Texas convention, and I was still nursing my youngest and couldn't go without taking him and couldn't afford to all go. So I didn't make it to convention that year. But that year, Scentsy had done, because they're always experimenting with new ways, which is awesome for us because it's led to this app that we're going to talk about later. But that year, they had a reunion live. Oh, I keep saying reunion. See, I've adapted. Live. Good. It's good that I've adapted. And you had to pay like a $20 ticket to get the link, although I'm not sure. That might have been one of the challenges with it because we could share it. And sometimes it broadcasts live accidentally, and we learned secrets we weren't supposed to learn because we weren't there. But they did show the we couldn't watch the speakers that they had paid for to come in, but we got to watch Orville's keynote and Heidi's keynote, and when they interviewed the Shining Star nominees. So that was my first experience learning about that award and listening to these idols that are now close friends of mine, the ones that were nominated that year, and I tell them that. And I had a lot of fun chatting back home with the team I was on, Team Wicks Away, about all the new things we were finding out, because even though the live streaming wasn't showing anything, you guys know how Scentsy connections work, especially with the world of Facebook, so people are posting. And then they come into the group. We had the forum through the workstation where everybody was like, oh, my God, we're getting a blah, blah, blah warmers that so-and-so just shared from Texas. Yeah. So we had this bonding experience as the not there convention attendees, and it really was an awesome experience. But what it did was tell me I want to be there next year. Like, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And so my resolve was I learned about the annual awards, which is the annual Sales Excellence Award and annual Mentor Award. And I've never really been excellent at sales. So I made it my goal, and the reason I wanted that cash award, I think she just took our picture.
I did. I'm doing it to show people what you can post on the app later.
Awesome. Okay, I want a copy of that because I left my phone downstairs.
For sure.
And we got to get this done before I go get my kids because they'll be very noisy in the background. So I had that goal of if I earn the annual mentor award, they give me cash right before convention, and I can pay the convention, because that was a time in my life where we were paycheck to paycheck on a military income, living in a new province where we had not anticipated the cost of heating our home when we bought this house with old windows and such. So I did it, and obviously since then have learned that it's a cool award to receive anyway. But my resolve was about getting to convention, and I haven't missed a convention or SFR Scentsy Family Reunion since. And what's been fun is that my experience changes every year. There's always, like, you guys will get your chance to talk. The first year I went was the first time we were in Vegas, and so that is when they announced Grace Adele, and we all got, like, an Oprah giveaway to our seats, free Grace Adele purse and clutch and jewelry and clip-ons. My first experience walking into the Scentsy Family store and how huge it is, and the waterfall that said Scentsy as it was falling. It was just like, I really got to see Scentsy on the grand stage and on the, when they really go all out. They brought Donnie and Marie on stage, and probably half the people there didn't know who they were, but I was in tears. That's why I'm so excited to be going to Nashville next week. And the speakers had me in tears, and it was a turning moment in my career because when I went, I was separated from my ex-husband, and my boys and I were technically already staying with my parents in Alberta, and so the flight to Vegas was a little bit cheaper. That's the other reason that the Annual Mentor Award was able to cover my costs. But I listened to Heidi's letter to her daughter as a mother and bawled my eyes out. And I listened to the motivational speakers, and I told myself, I don't have to quit Scentsy just because I'm becoming a single mom. I don't have to give up on my dreams. And we had decided already that I was coming back to Halifax for one more year. And I remember saying to my friends that I made that week, I am just going to get rich on Scentsy and pay somebody to mow my lawn. And pay somebody and afford flights home. And so, wow, how many years later are we now? 5 since then? That was 2012. So, yeah, 4 years. And I have paid people to do my lawn, but now my friends are making me be independent and do it myself. And I've earned aeroplanes through running this business to go home a few times. I went home after convention last year from Vegas. So I made it happen because of that experience being there, and my world has completely changed because I earned my first trip after being at that convention. I left convention excited and pumped up for my business and with the tools necessary, but so much of this business is attitude and not giving up, and that bond with your team that we then come back to Facebook and experience together. So that's my first convention story. And then the last thing I just want to quickly say is that when I mentioned that it's slowly changed, what's been fun is I kind of had this goal because then that year two downline came who are both sadly, no wait, yeah, I don't know if they both still sell. They both recently rolled off, I think. But I had 2 go that year and 4 go the next year to Indianapolis. So I joked that my goal was to double the downline that came with me every year, which was obviously easy back then when 2 to 4 just meant 2 more people. But St. Louis was a really awesome year with a good-sized group. We had a little bit less go to Vegas last year, I think, than St. Louis. However, we have a good-sized group going again this year to Nashville. So I'm super excited to experience that with those of you that are coming, and with this app, which we're going to talk about, be able to maybe interact a little bit more with those of you that are watching from home. So which one of you wants to go first? Who went to the first one? Rachel?
I did, I think.
So let's...
No, maybe not. I think Sarah and I went to the same first one.
Sarah didn't come to Indy. She went to St. Louis
No,
first.
she didn't come to Indy, so I went to Indy.
Making an executive decision and saying Rachel's next.
Okay, so I went to Indianapolis as my very first convention, and it was fabulous. I was actually really shocked at how friendly everybody was. And I got the insanity of Scentsy, the community sense that you don't really see here, because here we're all just crazy Scentsy people. But like there, you're like accepted as part of the tribe of crazy Scentsy people, so it was kind of fun. One of my favorite things that I did was they had like a big cutout that year, and everybody got to sign it. And on my part that I signed, do you remember? I put director coming 2013 or something, I think was the date that I wrote.
Yeah.
And it actually happened. Like I wrote it on the wall, and it was actually, you know, that was the year that I hit director, which was kind of fun. Because I have that somewhere as my photos now. So it was really cool. Yeah. So I really enjoyed it. I had to miss the St. Louis year due to some family issues and some other stuff happening. And I was very sad. I was like avoiding the computer, avoiding watching because I was mad about missing it. So I won't be missing another one. Yeah, so I'm really excited.
Did you have a year from home before, or had you just joined in time for Indianapolis?
No, I had a year at home before, and actually, funny story, and Sarah can probably tell you a little bit about this. It was me, her, and Mel. Oh, sorry, my husband's popping in. Show them your new haircut.
Mark. New what?
This is my Scentsy husband, Mark. He's bald now.
Ooh, shaved. Could you do that to my boys? They need it.
Okay.
Have to hurry.
I'll call back. Sorry, I'm just in the middle. I was getting I'm a breastfeeding counselor as well, and I was getting a breastfeeding health call. So I said, just take her number and I'll call her right back.
That's how Rachel and I met. was
Yeah.
that exact volunteering she's doing
That
right
fundraiser, yeah, which is part of
now.
my story, right? It's funny,
No,
it's like full circle. But we, needless to say, Sarah and me and Melanie sitting in Melanie's kitchen. That was one of our first bonding experiences. And I don't even think it was reunion, but I think it was Spring Sprint, maybe? I could be wrong, Sarah?
No,
Sarah
it's reunion.
was it reunion? Yeah. And we all watched the excitement. We're like, we're not missing another one. So anyways.
I actually remember you guys messaging after and telling me about that now. So that must be why you feel like you guys went to your first convention together.
Yeah. It kind of was, because we all sat there in the kitchen, like, eating snacks and, like, screaming at a screen. It was awesome.
And there was no Scentsy Live that year.
Well,
and that was before our lovely cell phone companies finally gave us the ability to be on our phones better in the States, which is also why I'm actually excited about this app. If that hadn't changed, I'd probably be like, yeah, great app for the American consultants. None of us Canadians can use it. And we couldn't get on the Wi-Fi very well, so we weren't able to keep you guys informed. But through those other forums, you guys were part of convention and excited and getting to see all that, right? So that's awesome. Any more loved about the first time you came?
No, it was just mostly all overwhelming. Like, and I'm one of those people, like, if I go to somewhere and I do something, it takes me a couple of days to absorb it. So it's usually on the way home that I'm kind of like processing, obsessing, reliving things. So it took me a couple of days to really get a hold of the experience. But just, it was really fun to just kind of take it all in and just feel the Scentsy. Do you know what I mean? Like, just feel the Scentsy love. And it's hard, like Spring Sprint or World Tour, for those of you who went this year, it's kind of that, but on like a multiplied by like 1,000 scale.
Yeah.
You know, it's that same like Scentsy love, happiness, 99% of people are totally awesome, etc. Right? So I'm really excited, and I'm really excited to be going this year with my first teammate that's joining me, Tracy Stanley.
I'm so excited that you guys are having team join too as part of that group growing. So that's exciting for me.
Yeah.
Have more leaders coming on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And the Kelly Clarkson concert that year wasn't shabby.
We had really good seats too. She was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So, Sarah, you were still at home for Indianapolis year. So, do you want to talk about that experience since Rachel kind of mentioned the other year?
Yeah, I just, before Vegas year, so 2012, I had just joined in April. So Scentsy was all very new to me. And I remember sitting in Melanie's kitchen with Melanie and Rachel, just soaking it all in as much as we could, like hitting refresh on multiple groups, just trying to get like all the latest information that we could. The next year in Indy, I don't even remember.
Hold on 1 second, sorry. Just a technical thing. The screen is going to be making people dizzy because the noise in Rachel's is bouncing to her face while Sarah's trying to talk. So I don't know how we can...
I can mute mine.
Bouncing back and forth really fast.
If that would help.
If you can mute it? Yes. Yes. Mute yours for this period. It's all right. Thanks. Okay. Go back, Sarah. Sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah, no, in Indianapolis the next year, I don't even remember. Like, it just wasn't really on my radar. I wanted to go, but it just wasn't happening that year. And I really don't remember the details of that year. But the following year, I did earn it. So that was the first year they offered it as the incentive trip. So I earned it. I could have chose Bahamas, but I chose St. Louis because I really wanted to go to Reunion. I really wanted to experience that. So, it's just the energy and the excitement. Like Rachel said, it's Spring Sprint World Tour times 1,000. It's crazy, and it's just so awesome to be around all those Scentsy people and getting all the reveals and getting to see all the new products in person, so you know what they look like to be able to tell your customers, and then experiencing the Scentsy family store, like just this huge warehouse almost of the new products, and just the excitement level. And just, I was surprised at how busy everything was. Like, the schedule is jam-packed, and you're just exhausted. You hardly have time for sleep because it's just everything's go, go, go. But it was awesome, and I knew after that experience I wasn't missing another one. So last year we went to Vegas, and I brought my husband along with me, so he got to experience some of it too.
And hang out with the Scentsy girls.
Yes. And yeah, so when Nashville was announced, it wasn't any doubt in my mind that I was going to make it happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Nashville's a bucket list location for me, so that was.
It isn't for me, but it was just, it's reunion. It's all about reunion. I'll be happy to see, you know, Grand Ole Opry and that kind of thing in Nashville, but it's about the Scentsy experience more than the Nashville experience.
Awesome. And actually, that's kind of good because you both have been now to 2 reunions where you might have a little bit of comparison between the first time you go. Because I find every Scentsy event, like, type, my first one was my biggest wow, aha moment, like, in tears the whole time. And I still love it every time. But like you guys, you know, Rachel mentioned she's excited to have a teamie coming this year because that's the new goals that you make because you kind of know that we know what to expect, so we're more excited now. But I just not that same like, oh my Lord, this is amazing. Like this is just beyond what I ever expected. So when you go the next time, I mean, it's good for us to all say that with reunion, it's not a disappointment though going to the next one. Whereas like sometimes if it's the same kind of training every world tour or every leadership and stuff, like, you know, the trip is fun, the people are fun, but sometimes we don't feel as like wowed by the training. But I have never felt that at reunion because of like the world top-notch entertainers and speakers that they bring in for us.
Yeah, exactly. I know what to expect a little bit more, but Scentsy always mixes things up just enough. There's always, you know, different speakers and things like that, and it's just the excitement. I know what to expect, and I can't wait to go and do it again.
And I find there's always surprise speakers at reunion, like the girl that did the adventure racing last year. She was an amazing speaker, and I had no clue she was even going to be on stage, but she was like super inspiring and amazing. And she's like out of left field, right? Like it was so cool.
She wasn't on the agenda, you're right. They only named like a couple of the big ones, and she ended up being my favorite speaker last year too.
Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah.
And St. Louis itself was a different year, being the 10th anniversary, and they really went on. Like there was a lot of that, like the year you joined stuff that really came into it, and I really loved our team bonding. The group that goes every year, you know, we all come back better bonded. That sounds bad. Knowing each other better, and I think it does change how we run our businesses, intermingled with each other. And I said to you guys numerous times on the cruise ship at leadership that it was a completely different experience for me this year having you guys there because we could process at lunch amongst the laughter and other things, because I'm horrible at remembering all these great things I want to discuss with you when I get home. And that is my segue into this app for this year. Because, like I mentioned, at least TELUS, I know Rogers, maybe Bell as well, did come up with some amazing roaming packages for while in the U.S. that'll, my data plan is huge, so I don't have to worry about getting on Wi-Fi. I'll be able to get on the app and check in and on Facebook. That being said, you guys that were in Vegas last year know that I get mentally tapped out, and I was like, you guys go have supper, I'm eating Snickers and going to gamble. I lost all my money, but the money I budgeted. But I needed that reset. Like, I may be very chatty and outgoing, but I was like, my head was overwhelmed. But it was my second time coming as an SSD, but there was just a lot of stuff last year. And so, I mean, the fact that there's more of us that have been a few times and we will be on our phones, I think what I'm excited about is that Team Wicks Away in general, if they download this app from home, Scentsy's going to be doing things to keep them in the loop. Like other years, Scentsy tried, follow us on Instagram, and they used the SFR hashtag, and then we could post things that way too, so that you'll see from those girls that don't get off their phone the whole time. So you don't have to wait for me to update you when my brain can't even fathom where we're all going for lunch. And there's been rumors about no assigned seating this year. We're still working on them about that decision. But I'm just thinking if that's thrown in, wow, we are going to be like focused on the people that are in Nashville. So it's awesome that Scentsy has this app to really be enhancing that experience for those of you that are watching from home, so you can really see what it's all about. Hopefully have that resolve for wanting to be there with us next year. And I think that's why we want to. We will keep in touch for sure, and that'll show you guys, because you guys need a little bit of that. Like, actually, I'll just ask you guys: did you feel that part of that was, not just I'm never missing Scentsy Family Reunion again, but I want to be there with my Team Wicks Away people because I saw how much fun they were having together as a team. Like, does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
No. Well, yeah. I guess it depends.
Sarah's answer.
No, I know what you're trying to say. Yes, it does. Like, there's that different level of excitement because it's people you can talk to about it after the event too, right?
Well, especially those of us that live in the same place, we support each other on a daily basis in our businesses. And those that are coming from Ontario and Quebec, we've had Albertans join us that have never met us. And I notice, they comment more on the Facebook pages after they have that in-person connection. Because when you have an in-person connection, it's easier to type and put yourself out there on a Facebook group. That's kind of what I was implying, was like, we get that bonding time and fun, and then that definitely portrays itself into your business and how you run it later. Now, does it make sense?
Yes, in that context, yes. I was thinking more of like a, it gives, like you said, just the general bonding. But yeah, no, I get it.
Well, and actually, you just made me think of something else. Some of our people that have gone before as earners or their first time have made friends there. Even though we were assigned seating and sitting together, there were breakouts. There were, standing in line. Like you said, the crazy Scentsy people were all there in tutus. Last year, I think it was the security lineup in the Toronto airport after we made it through that god-awful new plan of customs in the Toronto airport. And I saw purple and green tutus, and they were wearing their Scentsy fuzzy blanket to carry on the plane with them, and I'm like, this room is full of Scentsy people. Like, and then I was running into Team Wickless Warmth friends from Ontario that were just, taking their first flight and in line with us. So you'll find that on Scentsy travel days. Most of my really good friends that I met on trips, I met them in the airports on the way to the trip because we were like, you're wearing Scentsy gear. Like my friend Penny Kennedy from Victoria, we were roommates the next year at Leadership, but we met on the Punta Cana trip in the bathroom in the Seattle airport, waiting for our flight to New Jersey. And, I love that story, right? Where'd you guys meet? In a bathroom, so those bonding. And so I don't know, like, we bond really well as a team, but I know for a fact many of our team members, I won't name their names, but they do they set up Facebook friendships after and make those connections with friends that they look forward to seeing when we go. And I think that's a little bit of why I get exhausted as an SSD, because I have a lot of people I'm saying hello to. Like, you guys kind of giggled last year that you knew that you could just keep walking if there was somebody stopped me and they're like, that's Christine, she's got a million people she'll be saying hi to, and we know she's cool on the road. And
we had a phrase, we're like, we love you, Christine, we'll see you later.
Yeah, and I loved that because I was like, I didn't want to be rude to them and stop and say go on without me. So I loved, like, we've done it a few years, we have our understanding, go, because I have so many millions, and you guys are going to get like that. You've been to boot camp, you have boot camp friends you're going to want to see. My boot camp usually arranges a gathering. In fact, Rachel and Janie came with me to Indianapolis, and then you went to your own boot camp. And I know on the leadership group, Sarah and Melanie were like, okay, but we have to meet at 6 because our boot camp's taking a picture on the promenade. And it's just...
In Vegas, our boot camp, we had lunch at the Brazilian restaurant.
Right. Yeah. So it was like, don't count on Rachel, she's gone. So, it is crazy. And that's what I keep trying to warn our first-timers for this year, because I'm excited to go see Nashville. That's why I'm going in a couple days early, but I keep warning them to not plan on too much energy to tour during the actual days of reunion. So, can you guys think of anything else that's worthwhile saying on this video before they ask us questions tonight? I left my phone downstairs. Are you able to hold your phone up with the app?
Yeah, absolutely.
What it looks like in the Play Store for Android, and okay, you have to talk so that it switches to you.
So this is what the app, the main screen looks like. When you go to the App Store, this is kind of what the logo will look like.
That logo from the...
Right there. So when you go to the Play Store, this is the logo that you're looking for, the SFR, and just type in Scentsy, go to the App Store, and that's what the logo. When you log in to the app, it'll give you like your home profile page.
Ooh, first tell them about the password issue, because that hung us up a bit until you guys told me what to do.
So just use the email that's associated with your Scentsy account, and then your password that's associated with your Scentsy account, but it may not work. So all you have to do is click the reset password button. And forgot password, yeah. And then immediately it'll just send you the link to set up a new password. Super easy. Took me like 10 seconds.
I didn't set up a new password for my workstation at the same time.
Nope. It just made it for the app.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you're taken to your profile page.
So then it takes you to the profile page, and this is the page that you'll land on. It's called the activity feed, and this is kind of the basics of where people are starting to post and network and connect, and there's lots of other people posting fun stuff on there. You know, cat pictures, right? It's the internet, so there's cat pictures, and lots of people posting memories of fun reunions and stuff. So, but the little hamburger thing at the top here, if you click that, that is where you'll find the meat of the app and find all the different categories. So the agenda, frequently asked questions, the map of the site for the people that are going, which is helpful, activity feed, groups, messages, attendees, speakers, polls, etc. So all of the things that you need to play with the app are right here. You can't break it. Just go into the different categories, have a look around. It's a lot of fun, and I think during the live event, it's going to be awesome because you can just literally go on that activity feed and get like firsthand instant info before people even have a chance to upload it to Facebook. It'll be here, which is super cool.
It's fast, and I was reading in the settings because I was trying to figure out how to turn the notifications down a little bit because my phone battery gets run down really quick every time I add a new app that's like automatically made itself do all these things. So it's been beeping all night about every update to the activity feed, not just who I followed. So anyway, when I was in there, it was saying how showing up in the activity feed, there's an algorithm for that. So you won't necessarily show up unless you're doing, like, there's points you can earn in the app for, like, because I remember there was a year that they gave away an iPad, I think.
Yeah. So if you go here to the networking. Yes,
you can ask it to also upload immediately to your Twitter, LinkedIn, or Facebook.
Yeah. And so your activity page will have your different posts, and this is the post that I'm posting about how we were actually doing training on the app and on Scentsy Family, and that everybody on this feed who likes this is going to be part of our team training tonight, which is kind of fun.
Heidi liked it.
But yes, you can see
Heidi liked it already.
All your personal posts right here. Right?
On your own activity feed?
Yeah.
Okay,
your own activity feed. So you can see
on the profile page?
On the profile page, it will say activity down here at the bottom.
Oh.
So those about and activity. The about has your achievements that you were talking about.
Right. Those like your first post or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just maybe hadn't gone back because I did do a post because I couldn't figure out how to post without a picture.
Yeah.
Earlier, it made it look like you had to add a picture and then you could type.
Yeah. No.
But I started typing and it worked because I saw Carla Hunter had used only words. So I was like, there's got to be a way. But also you can follow people, which I discovered to look for because I got this notification that Rachel Lavalley followed you.
Yeah.
So what's neat about that is what I did, and what you guys might want to do is you can go into the attendees part, and then at the top you can choose all consultants, Scentsy staff, Scentsy team leads, like, so they're the ones that are like probably going to be posting more, and then superstar directors. So I anticipate, because I get friend requests this way, that people just search superstar directors and add them all. So they have made it easy to find superstar directors if you want to follow them, or if there's any names that are like a big deal to you. But it's only going to be the ones that are actually attending. So then you'll find out like who's going. You can look for your friends' names or whatever.
Or if you
meet same last name.
Yeah, if you meet somebody randomly and want to find them, it'll be super easy to connect with them afterwards. If you guys both have the app, you can say, do you have the app? Just look me up, right?
I actually followed a girl just because she was Christine with a K. You gotta unite, right? Like, it was fun. I was having fun with it last night. So I followed a lot of my SSD friends. It can be a way. So if you guys go and make sure you follow those of us on the attendee list, you'll automatically get notifications, or it'll show up in your feed of things we post. because that activity, that general activity feed is going to be worse than the chats on a Periscope.
Yeah.
Feed, right? It's going to be busy and constant and hard to keep up. So,
but it'll be great if you're looking for that info, like if you want that firsthand, immediate feedback from stuff. Yeah.
And if you're on the Facebook groups, you're going to quickly be told who to follow. Because people are going to go in there and be like, this person is posting tons of awesome pictures of new product. And then you just go search that person and follow them. Like, this app is going to be amazing for those at home. And for those of us going to, when you meant the apps, the map isn't working for Androids. I saw that feedback to Julie, and I couldn't get it to work. But the agenda, for people like me who have no memory and are exhausted, you go right in there and click which ones. Like, you sign up for things on the agenda that you want to be at, and then you get a notification, like you put into your phone calendar saying, okay, you're supposed to be going to get on the bus to the Wild Horse Saloon now, or whatever. And right in there, there's links. Like, I think there's when you click on the event, there's a link to the Wild Horse Saloon. So I imagine the speakers that are speaking, I got to see a few of the names of who's going to be speaking. And I found out the band for the last night. Did you guys see that?
No.
I searched more than you. I had to go Google the band because I never know their music. The final night's band is The Parachute. And I think they're a Christian rock band, and that's why I haven't heard of them. So I was listening to them on my Google Play last night a little bit. But yeah, Kelly Clarkson is the only one I've known ahead of time, so I'm so excited for that. But I'm like, I haven't listened to country for a while, so I'm old country, so I'm terrified that whoever they get is going to be too new for me to know them anyway. So, yeah, so I don't know. Is there anything else, Sarah, that you noticed? The group function, they shut off because there was too many glitches and things that we gave negative feedback on last night. But they left the help desk one. So Rachel just said groups, but I wanted to point that out, is that there's a help desk one. So again, for those of you going, great way to save your tired feet and go ask a question there and not have to go stand in line at the help desk necessarily. That'll do some really good vetting of who goes and gets in that line.
The facts are really good too, by the way, the frequently asked questions. They cover literally like everything. They're really, really in-depth, which is awesome for anybody attending. Yeah. I
like that we got it ahead of time too, because if somebody chooses to not have good access down there, they at least get to look and read those kinds of things
beforehand.
Because they had that app a couple years ago, and I mean, we couldn't. Or no, the text for updates. It didn't work from a Canadian phone number. I paid for a texting plan, and then, so they listened to that feedback. Yay. Because I was like, that did no good for Canadians.
Heidi commented on our training post.
Get on here, Scentsy people. Awesome. I'll have to go comment back.
Heidi was following the app, people. Come on.
Show me the picture again. It looks like you took it up my nose. Show the picture. We should stop recording now. Show me the picture.
The picture, sure. Sorry, my husband was trying to tell me. Big. All right, right here. That's the picture. Oops. There we go.
Awesome.
You're not that bad. You look serious.
You should have let me know. I could have made a silly face. Awesome. Well, thank you for doing this interview. I'm excited. Are you both going to be live tonight?
Yes, I will.
Be a little late something. Okay, so we will see you guys tonight. I'm going to get this uploaded as quick as possible. Or no, give you the link. This is the best part about doing this, is I don't have to upload a video. Like, we can have multiple people. They can come and watch us live like this, or we can immediately share a link. So it's fun. I wish I had not paid for the webinar service for another year, but I'll find a way to use it. Awesome. So thanks for watching, guys. We don't want it to be too long for you to watch before tonight and get those questions ready. And hopefully many of you will download that app and start exploring a little bit before tonight so that your questions will be ready.
Yes.
Yeah. Bye, ladies.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. We got to let Sarah be showing.
Bye.
I have to be quiet. Talk again, Sarah. There we go.
There.
It's just going back and forth between me and Rachel. All right. I'm going to stop the broadcast, but you guys don't have to leave yet. Bye, Team Wicks Away.